You know, I'm not sure how many of these international interviews you've done, because you do a lot in the United States, but it's a measure of how much your position now is causing a huge amount of interest, both in the United States and around the world. And so we're glad to have you on. You've been very critical of President Trump recently when he, made that very apocalyptic threat to essentially wipe out a whole civilization will die tonight and will never be brought back. That's what he said about Iran. You responded 25th Amendment. Tell us what you meant.
I was absolutely shocked and horrified that the president, the man that I supported and helped get elected, would call for an entire civilization of people to be murdered. When he talks about a civilization, he's talking about every man, woman, and child in the country of Iran to be killed. And I think that is completely unacceptable for the president of the United States, for any leader of any country around the world, to call for an entire civilization to be killed, the innocent lives to be wiped out. And that really gave me grave concern for his mental capacity. And that's what the 25th Amendment is for.
So just to be clear, it's to, through Congress, through those official routes, it's to sort of remove a president if they're deemed unfit to be able to carry out their duties. Do you believe that now?
Yes, I really think that his mental capacity needs to be examined. His rhetoric has been shocking to many Americans and people around the world. This is a war that many Americans, especially younger generations who I side with most of the time, do not support. We made campaign promises in 2024 to the American people: no more foreign wars, no more foreign regime change, and to put America as our focus. That means the American people and our economy and our future, really. And however, we've seen a drastic change here. I call this war an unprovoked war. And President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu engaged this war against Iran. There's not been a single bomb fall on America. And yet here we are spending nearly $2 billion a day. Yes, I do think that it should be discussed, although it's very unlikely the 25th Amendment will be used.
And are you concerned, many people were immediately very offended and concerned, particularly many Christians around the world, when first of all, President Trump essentially attacked the Pope, calling him weak on just about everything, and then somehow presented himself in a Christ-like image as the great healer with the halo and all sorts of, depictions in light. And, to those who understand Christian, imagery, it definitely looked like a deliberate image. How did you read it?
I read it as blasphemy. That's exactly how I read it. It was President Trump presenting himself to be Jesus, presenting himself to replace God. And that was extremely offensive to Christians and Catholics all over the world. And it is completely wrong. And then even further, he tried to, sweep it away, saying that, he thought he was representing himself as a doctor, which is lying. And he didn't apologize, which he should have apologized. And it's ridiculous, really, absolutely ridiculous. And so it is blasphemy and it's wrong. And President Trump owes Christians an apology.
And he hasn't done that yet. And as you say, he says he doesn't owe anybody an apology. Here's Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, about this issue.
I talked with the president about it as soon as I saw it, and told him that I don't think it was being received in the same way he intended it. He agreed and he pulled it down. That was the right thing to do. He explained how he saw that, and I don't think he thought it was sacrilegious at all.
Are you satisfied with Johnson's response there?
No, I'm not, because Speaker Johnson constantly touts himself as a Christian and brags on that in the way he speaks of himself. I think he should have said more. And I just think this is totally unacceptable. And we have to be clear-eyed exactly what it is. President Trump is not Jesus. He is not God. He's a man no different than any man here on earth. And it's completely blasphemous for him to present himself that way. And if he's not understanding why that was offensive to Christians, then I would call on the Christian leaders around him, such as Paula White, Franklin Graham, Speaker Johnson, and others. They need to be doing a much better job explaining why that was offensive and why it's appropriate that he apologize.